Hey everyone, Delphi Group here with our weekly market report that we do every Tuesday. So let's get to the charts. We are here on Thinkorswim. This is the SPY daily chart. You can see our forecasts here. We're not going to spend too much time on these indexes because we've been saying this now. We are kind of in up only mode. If you remember last week, we said if we get a close under the 20-day moving average, then we would target the 50-day. So kind of like what we did back here when we hit this target, we are just going to follow the 20-day moving average up. Okay, so if you're long the market and you're buying calls on stocks or you're playing the bullish side, that is fine for now. Just watch the 20-day. And there are some things coming up that you really need to be aware of, which we'll get to. Okay, but anyway, again, similar to this forecast, contingent on a close under the, or a move under the 20-day, actually a close under the 20-day, then for a retest of the 50-day, which is exactly what happened right there, here. So you can see that. So that's going to be the forecast on the SPY, and similar to the Qs. Same as well here on the Qs. We're making new all-time highs now in the markets. But again, we are just going to move our target under the 20-day. Okay, so again, if you're long the market, stay long, and until you see a breakdown, which may come next week or the week after, and we'll get to that in a minute. But again, nothing to change here. Keeping the similar idea to this target that hit here, okay? IWM, which we have over crazy to say, over a 97% win rate. You can see a lot of white targets on this chart, which we leave up when they hit. So, yeah, going back last week, we hit our target here. On IWM. IWM was the only one we didn't. We just went lower. So huge move today in IWM. We had the CPI number that came in a little lower. Markets are liking that, obviously. So we have a big move over the averages now on higher volume. And the other thing to look at here is that the CCI below has crossed the zero line. Okay, so this is something important here short term. When the CCI crosses the zero line, especially on higher volume, we get 2 to 4 more days movement in that direction. Okay, so the IWM could challenge this level here, which is resistance. Okay, so for now we're going to make this green because now this flips to support. But if we pan out a little bit, and there's the closing bell. If we pan out a little bit, actually, let's go to the weekly real quick. Okay, you can see here where IWM is. Okay, resistance. Okay, resistance broken becomes support, but that support failed miserably here. Okay, and again, resistance again. So we are at resistance again. So until we get a breakout and a close for at least a couple days or maybe a week, I'm not convinced yet. So we may get a false trap breakout here. If I go back to the daily, and I'll tell you why I'm looking for that in a minute. But yeah, you need to be careful what's going to happen here in the next week or two in the markets, which I'm going to get to in a second. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a two or 3 part forecast. Okay, nobody does that here anywhere in the markets. We did one back here that you can see panned out. We did a 2-part forecast up and down. So we're going to do something, and then we also did one here. Actually, this was a 4-part forecast. We did an up and down forecast here. We hit the volume drop there and the CCI pivot. So that was a 4-part forecast. So you know what? Let's do it again. But this time it's going to be a little different. We are going to go up. Let me change my drawing here. We're going to go up on the IWM for, let's say, another 2 to 4 days. Okay, we're going to go up. I think we're going to break through because of the volume. So we might see maybe another volume day or not. But now, contingent on the volume drop, so we'll just put out, I don't know, I'll go out maybe, today's the 12th, 13th. Let's just go out a couple days, and we're going to do a contingent volume drop for the IWM. Now, it could happen sooner. And then I'm going to say we're going to get a pivot on the CCI up here in this general area. Okay, it could go over this top line, it could not. And then I think we're going to go back down. Okay, but then I think we're going to go back down to maybe test the averages, right? Because what happens now, the averages are going to come up. So if we do get a move up and then a move down, it will meet the averages. Okay, but I honestly think we're going to go lower than that. And here's what I'm going to do now to tell you why. Okay, so let's go to Trading View. On the Trading View chart, so this is our cycle line. Okay, this is the SPY chart. We've traded this for over 2.5 years. It's only been wrong once. Okay, it's a reversal cycle line. Okay, so what does that mean? Just let me go back a couple months. I'm not going to go all the way back, just to kind of show you what has happened here the last 3 months. Okay, you can see back here we were going up. Okay, we shorted very heavily here for the community. Me personally, we probably had our largest shorts positions on in the indexes in a very long time because of the cycle line. And you can see what happened. To the day, we got a massive dump in the indexes. Okay, we had our best trading because we actually we shorted here, we shorted here, and we shorted all the way down, and we actually cashed out right here. We had our best March and April. I think we did over 600% for just a couple weeks in April. But again, we traded the cycle line. Okay, we shorted here, and we ended up selling all our shorts here. Why? Because the cycle line was here. And then look what happened. Okay, we absolutely crushed our calls here for the community. Okay, and then what happened here? We went down into the cycle line. And then what happened? Straight back up. So what are we looking at now? Okay, this hits on the 21st. Well, we need to see what happens in the next couple days, but what we can tell you is this. If we continue higher, okay, or even just maybe chop around here, we are going to be shorting again the indexes here for the community. We're kind of going out, telling you what we're going to do. Now, if we come down into it, we could see something similar to this. So we really need to wait to see what happens. We never want to jump the gun. Let the price action tell you what's going to happen. Okay, so if the indexes keep going up the next week, or even hang out and snail up the next week, just be very mindful of the cycle line. Okay, and then this orange line here is actually the Fed meeting. So a lot of people thinking the Fed's going to cut. So what we could see happen is if we go up, now nobody's doing this but us, and then the markets sell off. Okay, we think September is going to be a red month, not only in the markets but also in crypto, which I'll get to in a minute. If we come down, this could be the next bounce area here at support if the Fed cuts and we get a huge end of the year rally. Okay, but anyway, for now, watch the moving averages and be aware of the cycle line coming up next week. Okay, so I'm going to pivot to crypto now because some interesting things happening in crypto and a couple cryptos that we'll talk about. Okay, this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin made a huge move yesterday, almost tried to break out all-time highs. It did not. It got rejected. This shaded yellow box it's a timeline box, which goes right up until the cycle line on the 21st. Okay, so that's how big that cycle line is, because I think it could do something for crypto as well. So for Bitcoin, this is my window of time for it to take out the all-time high. Now it could or it could not. Okay, all I know is that we're really watching the cycle line, and we're being very cautious for September, which I'll get to at the end. Okay, so for now, I think we only have one Bitcoin ETF position, just playing with profits. But we would not do anything here on Bitcoin until the all-time high is taken out. And then I think we could pump to 140, 150K. But I am not sure that's going to happen now or after September. Okay, and again, I have the Fed meeting here in yellow, okay, which I'll get to why I think September is going to be ugly. But some other cryptos I do want to highlight. Ethereum, this is very important what's going on here. Okay, Ethereum is making a major breakout. This is the all-time high line. Okay, so two things we think are going to happen here. Okay, one, we definitely think we're going higher to the all-time high. This is really like an air pocket here, not much resistance. So we do think we're going to run there. And what happens here is a question mark. I personally think we will get rejected. I'm not sure we're going to break out the all-time high on the first try. So we could go up and then we could go down for a while, maybe back down to this area here. Or we break out. If we break out and especially get over 5,000, I think we're going to see a slingshot straight up to 7,500 area, that area. I don't know if we're going to get to 10,000 right away, but this we think will be a violent move up if we break out. So all eyes are going to be on this all-time high, okay? And again, we nailed this call on Ethereum. If we go back and look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin, now we posted this on social media. If we go back here and look at this chart, this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We nailed this call back here. Ethereum, I believe, was under $1,600. We absolutely crushed this call for the community. We told everybody to lighten up on Bitcoin and add more exposure to Ethereum right there on that breakout. Okay, and again, if we look at the chart, this is where that was, this pink line. Again, it was around 1700. Okay, we were watching this channel. We broke out, and that is where we said add major exposure, and that has been the call in crypto so far that we made. So an amazing job by us helping the community out with crypto. But now here's a bonus. There's something similar happening on another crypto right now, which is Chainlink. Okay, if we go to the Link BTC chart, now we have been in Chainlink since I've been personally in Chainlink since $1.80, but we've been banging on the table on Chainlink since $5 to buy it, and we think this is nowhere near done. If we look at the Chainlink chart, okay, we can see back here when we were at back around $5 on this channel. That's when we told the community to go long. It's been a rocky road, but we think this move is just getting started in Chainlink. Okay, we're not going to spend a lot of time on what Chainlink does. Do your research. It is essential for what's going on in crypto with the DeFi world and taking real world assets to the blockchain. It's basically like the Google of the internet. So, but what's going on here on Chainlink? Very similar to what happened in Ethereum. If we look at the Chainlink versus Bitcoin chart, let's scale out of this a little bit here so you guys see what's going on. This is a major thing happening here. Okay, if we go, this is the weekly chart. This goes back a long way. Okay, so we are breaking out very similar to what Ethereum did. And I just showed you what Ethereum did when it broke out. So just be mindful of this on Link. Okay, this is one of our favorite holdings, our top holdings. Okay, this is the most undervalued crypto out there. This should be triple digits, and it's not. Okay, but this is a huge deal with what's going on the Chainlink versus Bitcoin chart. If we go to the monthly, you can even see what that looks like here. Okay, so again, this could just be getting started on Chainlink. All right, and to finish, I want to show you guys here what's going on now and why we are saying watch September. Look here in September. September is the worst month in crypto of the year. So be very mindful of that. If you do not, be very careful going, chasing, FOMOing in crypto right now, because this could be right around the corner. Okay, what happened last time in 2017? Well, it's showing 7%, 8%, but we actually got a 30% drawdown in Bitcoin that month. Okay, so just be very, very mindful of what's coming up in September in crypto, which we also think could be a red month in the markets overall as well. Just watch the cycle line and just be very mindful with what is going on out there, okay? So that's it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We spent some time on a bunch of things here, but that we feel it's very, very important, especially if you're looking at crypto and maybe going along the markets in crypto. Be very careful the next week or two, and especially as we head into September. All right, so that's it from us. Please like, subscribe, tell people we're here who are trading. We're here to help them become profitable and stay profitable. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.